to wallet development for apps, agents, and robots. Any robots in the room today? Good, none of them. Super. Well, the next guys are building tools for those robots, and it's actually one of the more fascinating frontiers of Bitcoin tech. Building wallets not just for humans, but for apps, for agents, and yes, robots too. The Wallet Development Kit, or WDK, is making it easier than ever for developers to integrate Bitcoin payments directly into new tech. So to join us to explain how this all works, and please keep it simple, because I'm in the audience, I'm sure there's other people that are perhaps above my level, but similarly stranded by the incredibly advanced tech that you do here. It's going to be the Subash, VP of Engineering at Tether, and Matteo Giardino, who is the Product Manager at WDK. So please put your hands together and welcome them to the stage this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why not?
Thank you.
Nice. You want to start?
Yeah, sure. I'll wait for the presentation to get up. Oh, maybe.
Nice. Hey, everyone. Hello.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. I'm Matteo, again, Product Manager at WDK, and with me, Subash, VP of Engineering at Tether. So today, we're going to talk about WDK, which is this wallet development kit. And it's an initiative by Tether that we just launched last week. But before going in detail on what WDK is, I wanted to take a step back and see what happened in other tech domains in the last 10 years. So if we look at the last 10 years in other tech domains like the web and AI, we can see that there have been several breakthroughs that really changed the way that developer created products. For example, React in 2013, it's a tool that simplified a lot the UI creation. And React Native today, 2 years later, simplified the way that developers created cross-platform application. And this obviously causes huge adoption and an increase of the products itself. And we can see it with Next.js. And in 2020, for example, when Hugging Face was released and LLM APIs were released, made it so easy and so simple for anyone to create AI applications. So applications using natural language apps that weren't just capable to do before. Like before that, you had to train the models, etc. But this breakthrough hasn't happened in crypto. We're still living in a world where wallet development is broken. It's difficult to create crypto wallets, and this obviously limits adoption. And why is that? Well, obviously, the crypto environment and landscape is quickly evolving, and this is a good thing. Like new chains, new DeFi tools are created every day. But also, this is a headache for developers because they have to integrate with a lot of SDKs, APIs, and dozens of chains. So this is a problem. Not to talk about the security management and headaches that there are in that space. We are dealing with money, so it's very hard for people to create and innovate with wallets. There are several existing solutions, but they're proprietary. I mean, they're products, and they try to monetize this ease of use. But these are not only the problems that we are seeing right now. And Subash can go in a little bit more detail on other type of problems.
Yeah, if you thought building wallets is interesting, think about the future where we are stepping into. AI agents are taking over pretty much any and everything humans used to do and are doing them more rapidly and much faster. And what's the bottleneck? Well, at some point, you have to transact and be in the real world, and some payment layer would come. Imagine going through one centralized API, thousands and thousands of agents, because AI agents can do like hundreds and thousands of things at once, but one API, hey, I want to pay this, wait for 5 seconds, completion, fulfillment. And imagine every phone, every person doing this at scale across the world. Now you're going to hit a serious bottleneck where payments will flow through one central server or one central point, which can fail at any time and will become a bottleneck. So we need something that will enable the true, really the agents to go full scale without bottlenecking them. So we'll see more about that. So we start by introducing WDK. WDK is Tether's open source toolkit that allows self-custodial wallets for being used by agents, people, machines alike. It's simple to use, and it is built with a few core principles. It runs everywhere. Imagine you have to write one code to make it work on a phone, and then another code to make it work on a server, or your watch, or your smart fridge, etc. It's going to be a pain to write the same thing again and again. And that's why we, underneath, run with any Node.js runtime, or the bare runtime by the whole bunch, which lets you write code once that can be shipped in mobile apps, embedded hardware, servers, and alike. Then we ensure that WDK is modular and extensible. This is very important because you don't want one monolithic library that does 100 things and which you cannot audit. It becomes difficult for you to use and breaks often because some chain, somewhere, something is breaking. You need something modular that you can pick and choose for your use case and is tailor-made. So WDK is a hyper-modular toolkit that lets you choose each chain that you want to use and also manage them in an efficient and unified way so that you don't have to deal with the overhead of, I have to do this way in this chain and that way in another chain. And it's very developer-centric. What this means is, you could release any library, and you could have say, hey, go through the documentation, figure it out, etc. But WDK, we built it from the ground up, thinking how to make it easier for developers to integrate in maybe like 5 minutes, that tops. And you'll see more when Matteo talks about the usage later. And a few other principles that are really fundamental to, I would say, any crypto library is security. WDK is built to be stateless, and it ensures that the keys and any sensitive crypto operations that happen are handled in a modular, isolated way and such, so that you don't have the worry of, oh, OK, how is this happening in this chain and that happening in that chain? We are also building a unified signing layer, which is a bit into the future, which will abstract every crypto operation into an isolated module that you can fully audit and is the same module that empowers any payments. So that's coming soon. And one of the important things that is important for payments is you shouldn't be locked in. Imagine you use something free like Bitcoin and USDT, but you're locked into, let's say, like a vendor. You don't want that, because at any point, a centralized vendor or a party might impose rules, fees, or restrictions that you don't want to comply with. So WDK is open source. It lets you fork and extend it to how you would like, or at any point you want to switch, you have the option. We want to respect people's freedom, and that's something which is a core principle for WDK. And there is one thing about building a library, but there is another thing of building together. And with Tether, you know that we embrace building together. So we are working with ecosystem partners to build different components of WDK. So it's not just one company building everything, and you don't have to, again, centralize your trust. You can see it transparently being built by the community. So what this means is maybe there is a particular module for Spark, which is actually contributed by Spark themselves. Or there are other chains or protocols that you use in different chains are contributed by the protocol maintainers themselves. And that's all being usable in WDK. And you get the guarantees from Tether that, OK, this code is secure, but you have the contribution from the community. So to go more into the foundations of what makes WDK, I give it to Matteo.
Thank you. Yeah, so when we were thinking about what the problems are in this space, in the wallet development space, we realized that, well, first of all, we had to create a unified API that could enable to operate on multiple blockchains. For example, I want to send a transaction on Bitcoin and Solana and Tron, and I don't want to use different SDKs. So that's why at the heart of WDK, there is the SDK layer, which is just this unified API, simple API with the simple methods that you can use to operate with a lot of different blockchains. Another point that is really difficult in wallet creation is, well, when you create a wallet, is you have to get data from the blockchain. So how do we manage to handle that? We created an API, a REST API, which is the indexer API, which enables people to get transaction information, balances, and historical data from the blockchain with a simple API. You can even self-host it and deploy your own indexers. Well, in the future, it will be the all infrastructure that we build will be self-deployable, but for now, it's hosted and it's free and it's given to every developer right now. Another important point is the UI kit. So why do we need to reinvent the wheel when we want to show a transaction list, I don't know, a balance display, etc.? These components, these atomic components, are always the same. So we thought about it, and we created this suite of reusable components that anyone can plug into their app and customize. So you have your branding, and that's obviously different from app to app, but the underlying, let's say, structure is the same. So you can apply your branding, apply your color, round the buttons or whatever, but don't have to recreate the entire, I don't know, input selection list of transactions, etc. We have it for you. Also, we went a step further and we created some production-ready wallets and templates that people can use, anyone can use, to actually create their own wallet. As we said, we are looking into a future where there will be millions of wallets and everyone can have their own wallet. So why not create? We have the capabilities and knowledge of and know-how on how to create production-ready wallets. Well, let everybody create their own. So this is a bit technical. I'll be quick, but what it's important to see here is that in this snippet of code, the actual part that is needed to create a multi-chain wallet is these 5 lines here. 5 lines, yes. What is above is importing the modules. So what are we building? We're building this builder pattern where people need just to import a specific module to be able to perform operations. And for example, in this scenario, we're looking at a multi-chain model which will let you send money on Ethereum, Tron, and Bitcoin with the same APIs and just 5 lines of code, and also swap using Velora on EVM, yes. So we shifted the effort of developers in creating these bindings, importing different SDKs, to just importing the modules. So a lot of the code will be just import statements, but yeah. But what if you don't want to start from scratch and build your own wallet? Well, we said it before. Oops. Oh yeah. We also build the starter wallets. And again, with few lines of code, with few operations like instructions, you can clone, install, and deploy and run your own wallet. And this is, well, just a video showcasing the wallet that you will get and performing some operations. But again, we wanted to make it very accessible to anyone, not even people who know how to code, but anyone to just have their own wallet, which they control. And hopefully, by the end of today, many of you will create their own wallet. Yeah, it is easy. So we've built these foundations right now. So we've created the basics for interacting with a lot of blockchains. We've created a lot of modules for DeFi tools, like lending, swapping, etc. But obviously, we're not done. And we created, yeah, some developer tools to facilitate the life of anyone. But we're not done. And what we don't want to do is build on top more and more capabilities to this toolkit. So, for example, offer on-ramp and off-ramp, multi-sig, hardware wallet, which are not yet supported, but we're working on it. We also want to double down on the developer experience, creating a developer portal and having anyone to register webhooks, for example, or other starters. We want to create a starter or template for each of the platforms out there. So you can just quickly spin up a desktop wallet, browser extensions that is all powered by WDK, so it is secure module, but it's yours. And obviously, yes, extend the ecosystem support. As I showed before, it's just modules that can be plugged into one another to build your wallet. So we're working with a lot of partners, as Subash said, and we really want to work with more and more to expand the capabilities of the wallet to anyone. We have a lot of chains supported now, but maybe there are other chains that we can support. We had a lot of swapping modules. There could be more. But this is only the short-term vision. There is a long-term vision to WDK, and Subash will continue from here.
Thank you, Matteo. So as we see, WDK makes it super easy for anyone to build wallets and integrate wallet payments into their applications. But OK, this is great for now. What about the future? Tether's thinking we are soon going to have AI agents everywhere, which is already happening, but also robots and embedded IoT hardware being able to pay for themselves. So what does it mean? Imagine you have someone intelligent, a friend, family member. You would give them their money, and you would trust them with being able to spend that based on how you instruct or how they choose to. So if you have your own robot, you would trust it probably with its own money and empower it to make payments on your behalf or on its behalf. So these embedded hardware could be something like a light bulb paying for its electricity, or a smart fridge paying for its electricity, or your robot going to a grocery shop, buying you cookies and paying for the merchandise and so on. All of these would be possible with WDK because WDK can run anywhere and everywhere. And we don't just see it stop with machines. We see these permeating everywhere where payments and economy is there. And something interesting to go further is Tether's core mission has always been to disintermediate and empower freedom for people. And one of the key things, or the key ways we've used WDK is Rumble has built the first wallet built with WDK, and it's a censorship-resistant way for creators to receive tips from people. It's unstoppable, and it ties into the principles of Rumble, and it empowers a creator economy where anyone can pay to anyone without being tied to, oh, I need to have a bank account, I need to do this, I need to do that, KYC, this, that, etc. It's quite simple, and it just works. And I think at this moment, Rumble is already gearing to get this out, and we are proud to say it's the first integration for WDK. And that's it. So you can learn more about WDK and the different starter templates and everything that we spoke about by going to wallet.tether.io. And you would find documentation, GitHub, and every resource there. Any questions?
Yeah. Do you have questions for Subash or Matteo, guys? And just raise your hand. I'll come to you with a microphone. Thank you so much for your talk. Super interesting stuff. We're going to continue the AI theme this afternoon. To this gentleman here first with a question.
Hey, thank you very much for what you've just shown. I saw it on Twitter. It was teased for like 2 months, so I'm super excited that it's out here now. I have a question more on security, or how you used the term hyper extension or hyper modularization, right? Which is interesting. What would interest me is how do you decide what dependencies you use for your modules to connect to the different SDKs that are basically used when you want to make a transaction on Ethereum or on Bitcoin. How do you decide what to use? Because I'm pretty sure you're not using or developing those from scratch. So do you have a policy there, or?
Yeah. So obviously, when you choose with the way NPM dependency attacks have been going, you want to be very careful. So we definitely choose dependencies based on usage, trust, and even how actively they are maintained. And that's at the core of what we choose. But we want to go further from there because we understand the problem that's there when you have like hundreds of chains and so on. So we are actually extending our wallet development kit to have a universal signer architecture, which will allow us to have one local signing module which handles all of the cryptographic operations in the same way, because you can use one chain which handles signing in a different way, uses different cryptographic libraries and so on, and another, and soon this will go out of hand. So we are trying to bring that back into a single signing module and have a universal interface that also allows hardware wallets maybe, right, and local signing, etc., with the same interface. So yes, we choose the modules wisely, but we are seeing the future where we want more assurance.
Yeah, just one more question. The UI kit that you've built, is it just React Native, or?
Yeah, currently only React Native, but when we'll provide starters for web, I will also have React and other platforms as well in future.
Cool stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we see people have already requested for Swift and other languages, so we are considering them for the future.
First off, thank you and congratulations on getting the build this far and having your first wallet built on it. It's awesome. How do you guys handle gas tokens? So if somebody is trying to transact with somebody else on a different chain, right? Solana versus Ethereum. Sorry, guys, I'm taking it out of Bitcoin. How do you handle that? Because you require a type of asset specifically for each chain.
Matteo?
So yeah, we actually do have modules for wallets and chains with account abstraction in it. So we have, for example, WDK Wallet EVM, which lets you transact on EVM chains, and WDK Wallet EVM ERC-4337 with account abstraction, so that gas transactions are abstracted for the user and can use the same token to pay with gas. So we do have it for a lot of the chains out there. So we support gasless transactions in a lot of the chains.
Yeah, one of the core principles of WDK is to be easy to use, and we adopted that.
And it's just a different module. So you just import the one with account abstraction and gas sponsorship, and you can do it.
Fantastic. I think there were more questions right there at the back there. Oh, can I go to this gentleman first, and then I'll come back to you.
Thanks, Subash and Matteo, for the presentation. So we already are running a wallet called Sorted Wallet, and we have about 100,000 users or so. And we have been looking at integrating the WDK going forward. So my question is, do you think for the existing users it is possible that they continue with the same wallet address or the private keys, or that's not possible? One of the things would have to change?
If it's using account abstraction and the same primitives, yes, it's going to be very simple. But if not, then we have to have a migration that could enable them to do that, yeah.
And sorry, just the migration, is that already part of the documentation, or would that possibly?
This is something we have to share, because this is in the roadmap for us to tackle, but we want to first give a wallet with which people can start building. But yes, this is something we would tackle in the future.
Yeah, but as long as you have the mnemonic words or seed phrase or private key, you can plug it into the wallet that you create with WDK, and it works. So if it is, you have a procedure to store it into the user device and to retrieve it, decrypt it, you can import it into WDK, and yeah, it works.
All right, thanks, guys.
No problem.
Thanks. There was a gentleman at the back there.
Hello. Congratulations for the wallet.
Thank you.
It's promising. I will test it as soon as possible. I was curious about the roadmap for the on-ramp and the off-ramp. Have you got some ideas for the Swiss implementation of this? Like credit cards, bank account, or something more peer-to-peer? Or?
So
Thank you.
The way we actually are planning to proceed, like we did for chains and swapping modules or other DeFi modules, is we build a generic interface. So we outlined what the on-ramp and off-ramp modules should look like, and then we leave implementation to anyone who wants to implement it. So that's why it is very modular. We're not providing ourselves a specific partner for on-ramping and off-ramping, but for example, we are working with MoonPay, and they will provide their implementation of on-ramping and off-ramping. They will follow these guidelines, this interface, and if they respect it, then it is compatible with any wallet that will use WDK. So you will basically do something like register on-ramp with the plugin MoonPay, and that works out of the box. But it is not obviously limited to MoonPay. You can extend it. You have another partner, any other partner. Actually, again, we're looking forward to have a lot of contribution in this space. If you have your own implementation, you can plug it in. If you have another partner that you want to use, you can plug it in. So we're building basically generic interfaces.
Yes, Rogsy. I'll come around. Pardon? What about Lightning?
We do have support for Spark right now that does support Lightning. There are other modules as well that we are planning to add that support Lightning. So it's a growing ecosystem. Like we have multiple ways to do it right now, and there will be more in the future.
Bitcoin first.
Bitcoin first.
Hi.
Hi.
It's complicated also for me, so I'll try to phrase it as best as I can. So you talked about AI, robots, and payments, and robots that pay for themselves. But for crypto wallets becomes tricky because in my experience, if I want, for example, a backend to pay for transaction, I have to give the backend the private keys of my wallet. So it opens to several risks, high risks. So how can an AI agent automatically sign transaction without having the private keys of the wallet that I'm building or I'm using, maybe with WDK? Will it be able to operate directly on the front end of the user, or there are other standards that maybe come in the game?
Sure. So great question, because imagine you have one single wallet, then if you have to share it, then it sort of defeats the point of security and modularity, right? So what I meant by agents and payment robots having their able to pay is they each have their own wallets. So WDK is self-custodial and can be initialized in any environment. So imagine your robot has its own wallet, and you top it up. You are able to send, you are able to, with automation, schedule and keep the balance, etc. And the robot can automatically pay for itself because it has the keys to its own wallets and do transactions. So it never has your access to your full wallet or something. It just has its own limited wallet, like a pocket money. Yeah.
Good stuff. Is it a quick question to the man at the back? It's a quick one. Okay, cool. So we only have a minute left, I believe. Yeah. I'm loving the dynamism, by the way. The brain power in this room is really impressive. So we'll keep it up. Here you are.
Depends how fast you can run. Quick question. So you said you have coverage of quite a lot of chains already. How much of this work is done by you, and how much is done by the, let's say, ecosystem chain experts? And I'm specifically asking this question because we have in our wallet Bitcoin and Cardano, and of course Cardano no one wants to talk about, but it's also needed. And how would that work if that was to be integrated into WDK?
So we have at the moment Spark is something the chain is implemented, but majority of the others are implemented by us. But because the project is just launching, but what we are seeing is a lot of interest from many people that they want to be part of the WDK ecosystem, and we even have a dedicated sheet where we are managing these relationships and so on. So we are going to see a future where more and more chains are going to be ecosystem supported and managed.
Yeah, it's an open source project. So many of the chains, we did the first implementation because it was so core. But obviously, anyone can contribute, anyone can help. This has happened in the past since launch. It has been great to see so many people trying to provide their ideas. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Subash and Matteo. Please give them a really warm round of applause.
Thank you.